able to save that orbital command, but knocked out the majority of his army, quite a few SCVs, and Axslav looks like he's going to be pulling back for the moment, perhaps to reinforce quickly here and then push out once again, or he may just be taking this opportunity to start macroing up. He did get his third up during that attack, so always a good idea to throw up an expansion when you do push out. You know your opponent is not going to be applying any sort of pressure on the defensive. It looks like Murder is coming out with these Hellions. He really needs to do something here to try to even the score, and these Hellions could be just what the Doctor ordered. If he's able to take down a number of these probes, it could even up things a little bit, but it looks like these Hellions are going to be taken down by the sentries and stalkers of Axslav. So pulling back those offensive units, very good idea for the Protoss player. He was able to defend against that harass, and if Murder had been able to do a lot of probe kills there, or if he was able to take on this line of probes with the way the Hellions attack, it could even up things a little bit. But now we have Axslav on 3 bases, and his opponent just now getting up his second base, having to invest minerals in bunkers for defense. And it looks like he does see the pylon here as he does move out with that medevac. And he'll want to take down that forward pylon. Do see Axslav does have an observer now, so he's going to have information, valuable information on the types of units and the numbers that Murder does have. We see Murder moving in with this dropship, and this is another thing that could even up this game once again for the Terran player, is if he's able to do some good harass with this dropship. 8 Marines, that's a lot of firepower. We'll see how quickly Axslav is able to respond to this. He needs to get those Marines stimmed up, start taking down probes, doing some tangible damage here. He does not want to attack willy-nilly, just any old building. He wants to make sure he's taking down valuable things and then pick up those Marines as soon as the defenses come, and Murder's able to do a great job there. See, Axslav has awesome sight all over the map, doing a little bit of a dance there with the observer. He's got pylons spread. He's got both towers. So his opponent will not be going anywhere without him knowing about it. Murder doing his best to get his economy up and running again. Just 25 harvesters compared to the 62 of Axslav. If we check out the production, we do have a Dark Shrine up for Axslav, so we may see some Darks coming into play. Templar Archives as well. And it looks like a Dark may be moving out for the Protoss player. Going to try to go right for the mineral lines, ignoring the army. And we do not see any missile turrets up, so Murder's economy may be hurt here. We did see In Control do this against Angry in the second game, able to do a huge amount of damage, and Murder just cannot afford losing these SCVs at this point. Need to spread out those SCVs so the Dark Templar cannot do a lot of damage. It looks like Axslav was able to take out that dropship as well, so that's going to be a huge blow for Murder. He really wanted that dropship to survive there, and he wanted that threat of attack to always be on the back door of Axslav. That way Axslav had to keep his army at home a little bit, or just at least a few units to defend against that dropship. But now he's going to be free to move out. He's got these Darks working on the mineral lines of Murder in both the main and the natural, able to do a number of kills and force those SCVs off the line. Both Darks taken care of, but down to 22 harvesters is Murder compared to the 76 of Axslav. He's got 3 bases up and running, throwing up a ton of warp gates here. So he may be preparing to push out. Does not have any sort of Darks or High Templar in his units or in his army right now. So just relying on these gateway units. And it looks like Murder pushing out with all his SCVs and his units. Feels like an all-in might be his only chance to win this game. If we check out the army tab, it's actually pretty even, 3,500 to 3,100. So if Murder's able to tank a little bit of damage with these SCVs, which do not count as part of that army, he could destroy the army of Axslav and maybe do some important damage. But Axslav is going to have the economy. He's going to have all these production structures. He can warp in a lot of units to defend here. So we see the Guardian Shield going up for Axslav. Could get some good force fields here. Going to trap a lot of those SCVs, taken down by the Zealots here. But the Marines and the Marauders in the back just firing away, taking down a robotics facility there, trying to focus down units as they warp in. Now we see these Hellions doing as much taking as they can in the front lines, but the Zealots, the Stalkers, and the Sentries just doing a ton of damage to these Marines and Marauders. Great force fields going down, really limiting the mobility of the Marines and Marauders. They do want to constantly stim up and kite away from these Zealots. And it looks like Axslav, not really sure what his opponent is doing here. Perhaps he does not know the length or the insane amount of damage he was able to do to the economy. His opponent just had about 25 SCVs. He was on 1 base compared to the 3 of the Protoss player. So he felt like an all-in there with those SCVs was his best shot, and it just did not work out. So EG proving me wrong there. The Protoss player able to take down Murder, even though Murder just beat one of their top Protoss in control. So Axslav is going to even up the series at 2 games apiece. Both teams have 2 players left, Axslav and LG Gamer. And then we have Titan and Time for vVv Gaming. So in this one, we saw that early attack of Axslav was able to put Murder back on his heels. He had to pick up that orbital command, which he did save, but it really limited the economy, and Axslav got up a 3rd base, and in the end was just able to out-macro his opponent. His opponent going for a bit of an all-in, but what can he do at this point? I felt like losing that dropship was very important, as Murder should have been able to apply some constant pressure. With this Metalopolis map, there's a lot of room to fly that dropship out there and just keep it as a threat, and Axslav would have had to keep some stalkers and part of his army in his base for defense. But once he was able to take down that, then I think that Axslav was feeling a lot more comfortable just massing up, and Murder had to do the all-in. So hopefully by this point you are rooting for one team or the other, or maybe like me, you're just rooting for some great StarCraft 2 action and perhaps a 7-game series. You always want to see it go down to the very end between 2 great opponents. So I'll go ahead and bring you Game 5 between these 2 teams in the Clan War. Hope you enjoyed watching this one, and I'll see you there.